Emotional triggers for each MBTI type. An emotional trigger is a pattern of stimuli that predictably invokes an emotional response. Here is a look at what potentially sets off each MBTI type emotionally. ISTJ and ISFJ. Due to their SI dominant orientation, new and unfamiliar situations for which they feel ill-prepared to deal with can be a distressing experience for ISTJ and ISFJ. Under these conditions, they can get easily triggered by confusion and frustration until they can establish a smooth and functional routine and a proficient understanding of what they are working with. Their normally amiable and soft-spoken demeanor may become argumentative and hypercritical, lashing out in what could resemble a nervous breakdown. They may also become more impatient with impractical and unreliable people. Emotional triggers. ENTP and ENFP. ENTP and ENFP are NE-DOMs, which makes them very open to new ideas and experiments. They may take real offense to people who try to diminish or dismiss their ideas and vision as being untenable, childish or silly. Negative pessimistic attitudes from other people who try to take the wind out their sails can trigger ENTP and ENFP emotionally, and perhaps motivate them to prove their critics wrong. They may resent such people who try to rain on their parade and try to devalue their dreams and discourage them from trying new things. Emotional triggers. INTJ and INFJ. As NI-DOMs, INTJ and INFJ spend much of their time pondering where things are going and what they mean. They are prone to overthinking because they are always anticipating outcomes and how to best prepare for them. NI-dominant types may feel perturbed by what they view as vapid and superficial and can get emotionally triggered if they find themselves preoccupied with or disrupted by meaningless distractions. INFJ and INTJ can also get really bothered when things don't turn out as they'd expected and may have trouble rolling with the punches and instead dwell on how or why things went wrong. Emotional triggers. INTP and ISTP. Because of their dominant TI, INTP and ISTP are inclined towards developing self-sufficiency and a proficient understanding of how the world works. They can seem nitpicky about the accuracy of their statements and the specificity of the words they use. Because of this, INTPs and ISTPs alike may get easily irritated by others who misrepresent or misunderstand what they say or miss the points they are trying to make. Disputes involving unclear and imprecise communication, irrational behavior, and inconsistent logic are among some of the things that will trigger these types emotionally. Emotional triggers. INFP and ISFP. The INFP and ISFP are types with their own personal values that may stand in contrast with what is promoted by the people around them. Their sense of right and wrong is generally informed by what their heart tells them and how they feel about it. FI-DOMs may therefore feel affronted by anyone who tries to devalue or invalidate what they feel, since it is something that has such significance and power over their thought process. These types may be easily triggered by people who cause or disregard suffering, and mistreat living creatures. They also get triggered by injustice, people trying to control them, and feelings of betrayal. Emotional triggers. ESFJ and ENFJ. ESFJs and ENFJs, being FE-DOMs, want for everyone to be respectful and cooperative with one another. They both dislike direct conflict and prefer to find a more diplomatic option whenever possible, or otherwise resort to slightly Machiavellian tactics. They tend to believe they know what is best for others and may get taken by surprise when others resist their unsolicited help or advice. ESFJ and ENFJ may both get emotionally triggered in response to rejection and criticism from others. Having to defend themselves against such attacks to their self-worth and esteem can make them feel persecuted and disrespected. Emotional trigger. ESTJ and ENTJ. ESTJ and ENTJ are efficiency machines. They both like to optimize and improve whatever they touch, and they think they know how best to do that. These types can be domineering and bossy, but they know how to get things done. Because of this, ESTJ and ENTJ can be very impatient with dysfunctional systems and teams that are ineffective or unfocused on their objectives or purpose. They can get emotionally triggered when things do not operate the way they expect and their objectives are discomfited. They also get irritated when subjected to incompetent people telling them what to do. Emotional triggers. ESTP and ESFP. The ESFP and ESTP are SE-DOMs who are inclined to act first and think later. They can be impulsive and reckless, but are very responsive in an emergency and able to make decisions quickly. Because of this, these types are likely to get miffed when they are met with opposition and unable to act on their impulses. Blockages and delays are bound to be a strain on their patience unless they can find some other stimulating outlet or diversion to distract them. ESTPs and ESFPs may have an equal disdain for excessive rules and regulations that hinder them from getting what they want. Emotional triggers. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel to stay posted.